Hey, this is Jack. Jack will fix it from Surreal Pains. I mentioned I used to have this setup on a trailer. I had a bunch of videos with it. Worked great. Problem is, on the trailer, off the trailer, on the trailer, off the trailer, haul stuff. It wasn't working, so I decided to put it on a cart. So I got me a heavy duty type cart with the caster wheels, and I'll show you why in a minute. HF5 Axiom 4040. Got one of myself the big blues, basically the size of a small quarter cube, but this cost me $1. It has 1-inch ports. The filter, yeah, maybe more like 50, 60, but it's a universal. It doesn't let hardly any chlorine through until after about 100 hours, unlike every other carbon filter. After a couple gallons, you're actually putting chlorine into your system, believe it or not, and ROs accumulate chlorine. HF5 does not tolerate it. Dow's a little better with it with their membrane. I do have another carbon block here as a secondary filter, the first filter. I do that again, chloramines. They're very hard to remove. It's not simple chlorine in your water. This is chlorine with ammonia, creates chloramines. Very bad stuff, messes up an RO. Figured that out a long time ago. Plus, you never know when the water company is going to do a chlorine burn. Sometimes you get a head up, sometimes you don't. And if you don't have good carbon blocks, trust me, you're going to get a blast of chlorine that your carbon blocks won't even filter through. Still trying out the pH 7, the Tech 7 there. Trying to see if it works or not. The only thing I've noticed is sometimes the water does feel dry, and some of my soaps, they don't feel as slick. It's hard to describe. I'm still messing with it to see whether I like it or not. Anyway, like I said, I took all the parts and pieces that I had laying around and threw this together. You name it, a clamp, a connector, whatever, just to get it to work. The Wayne pump, PLS, stainless, not the iron. Don't get the cheapy little one with an iron block. It's stupid. It's going to rust. I see other people putting that stupid transfer in there with iron. Trust me, you're going to be pumping iron into your membrane. You're going to follow it. That is why I run it through my pre-filters to the pump, even when I use my old transfer pump, like the old Wayne transfer, and then it pumps it up to the RO. I sometimes get anywhere from 50, 60 PSI boost, so when you're doing commercial at 40 PSI, I can get 80 and 100 off my RO easily. And I put a disconnect here just so when I do finish, I can dump it. Okay, now why'd I use this cart? Well, carrying around, standing up, it can run like this. However, those pumps are designed to be horizontal, not vertical, because of the bearings and the shaft. They have to be run horizontal. So it's really simple. Now it's ready for operation. And what I like about this pump too is you got a switch. See down there's an on-off switch. Unlike all the others, you got to plug it in and unplug it. I don't know about you, but in wet environments, I just don't like unplugging and plugging stuff up in a wet environment to turn it on, turn it off. But that's how she'll run. Of course, the waste, I don't have anything connected up here yet, but yeah, I use it. And you can use any tubing, any hose for that. You use a broken garden hose or something. Quick fit, boom. Got your adjuster here. Got my pump. PSI gauge up here. Generally, I'm running about 80, 90. There's my permeate out, and I have two. This will connect to my hose reel. Or if I'm just using straight hose, if I'm really close, I can just hook up a 3/8 hose here. Also, what I'll do is I'll use this as my test port. Now, I do have a 2-way and a 3-way TDS meter that hooks up, but it's plumbed for this little half-inch, and I'm converting over to where I could just put my TDS meter here. I'll use the 5/16 port I got for the one. It's a single. Really, I don't really need to monitor what my TDS in is. I already check it when I turn the water on. And as I'm running it, I have a handheld. I'll check it as I go. I don't need to see fancy digits and dial and readouts 24/7. I'm too busy cleaning glass to run back and go, oh, what do my numbers say? Hey, I can claim up to 50, 30 sometimes. There are no spots. Hell, like we used to get spots at 0. But it does run. So when I go to a house tomorrow, I'll pop this sucker up. And there you go. And I'll show you what it looks like when it runs. But yeah, just is serendipity. It's like perfect. If you look, definitely got some space under there. So it's pretty easy to wheel around. Rolls really nice. Because let me tell you, when you get a full setup like this, it's pretty heavy. I mean, we're talking about 85, 90 pounds. And that's without the tanks full. Then you can add about another 10, 15 pounds of water. Why did I go with this? Higher flow, less resistance. You could lose up to 10% going through 1 or 2 of these. So if your pressure coming in is only at 60, you might just be putting maybe 48 into your RO. 1-inch ports, a lot of water, less restriction. Yes, this is restrictive right here. I realize that. However, I need to have this filter up here. And when it determines that I get the water readout from the water company that says they're not doing the chlorine, they're back to regular, normal chlorine, the levels are good, then I just pop in a regular sediment here. And the flow increases dramatically. So I'm really not getting as much pressure loss as I ever had before. But then again, with a pump, I'm boosting 50 psi. And if I'm getting 60 coming in, puts it down to about 45, and then I boost it about another 50. So I'm getting up to about 100, 110. When you shut everything off, it's going to push 110, of course, when you open it. But there will be more to follow. Show you how this thing works in operation. Maybe you can do it yourself. Do you need to buy one? No, you don't need to go buy some fancy $3,000, $4,000 kit. $1. Check out your garage sales and estate sales. The filter, it's a good one. They could be anywhere from 45 to 50. These alone are about 50 bucks. But again, I have a couple more of these. Yard sale, whole house filters, $2-3. Sometimes they come with filters. Filters are 10 to 20 bucks. Casing, you can get these now for 80 bucks, 60 bucks. This one's a PVC. Go with stainless if you want. They still rust on the inside, so stainless will rust. Trust me, I'll show you some housings I have that are rusted. Just go with PVC. If it breaks, you can easily replace it. HF5, yeah, you're looking at 200 plus for the membrane. Cart, go ahead, go to Craigslist, 25 bucks. Offer up, let go, 40 bucks. The pump, that was a return from Amazon. So that was 110 bucks for PLS 100. So yeah, this whole setup right here is less than $500 to make my own 4040 RO cart. So do what you will. Buy your $3,500 carts. I like to do what I want with my stuff and not be. I'm not going to spend $3,500 on RO system because I'm stuck with their design and how they want to do it. I like to fiddle with stuff. I move stuff around. I could change fittings. I could put different hoses on it, different tubings. I could change. That's the whole thing about DIY. Make it yourself. Make it the way you want. If I want to add another one of these braided hoses, if I find one, I will. But people tend not to touch their stuff. And if they never made it, half the people that buy these systems don't even know how they operate, how they run, how they put it together. And when you ever built one, you realize, holy crap, I could build one for $500-600, and I just gave some schmuck $3-4 grand for their system because they had bells and whistles and dials. No, I'm not one to just. No, I build my stuff and make it the way I want. Saves me money in the long run. Don't be fooled. Well, you buy my kit, you're going to make money on top of money. You're going to. Okay, fall for that sales skin. There's a sucker born every minute. Or you make your own. There you go. Maybe 1 to 2 cleaning jobs pay for this. Your 3500 unit, now you're going to be working for a couple months to pay that sucker off. Then you realize when it breaks and it's outdated, you have no idea how to repair it and update it. Your choice is to try and sell it, get rid of it, or go buy another $3,000-$4,000 unit because they got the best and most exciting membrane ever. And then what you'll hear is they say, well, buy a cheapie anyway. It doesn't matter because you're going to get thousands of gallons. You don't even need this stuff. Just run it until it dies. Every 6 months to a year, you just buy a new filter. Who cares? Because you're making money. Don't fall into that. You're going to buy it and realize nobody's going to want their windows cleaned. Meanwhile, you're making payments and crap on stuff. Don't listen to buy one every year. Crap, this is almost, 3.5 years old, and it's still getting me down to 3 part per million. And it's been through real bad water here. So, there we go. Let's see what this Frankenstein looks like and how it puts out in operation. Should have video posted up here in a couple days. That is all.